Edith setup, there's good damage
Maaf,
potential overall.
lupa lagi nge-record. Sumpah gue kalau lagi draft pick tuh
RRQ
kayak
Hoshi going to give Skylar his classic claw though. So they are leaning more into late game scaling and just expecting the pressure and hold the early stages with the Hilda and export.
Oh, I do agree on that. Seriously, RRQ Hoshi so far right now, really good response. It's just how they gonna be able to control all the aggression that will be put out by FNATIC ONIC Philippines for the time being on the early mid. That's the crucial point right now because we are going to see the fight between Skylar as well as the fact that definitely King Kong will try to mess things up. The invasion, are they going to deny it? Will RRQ Hoshi be able to control it wise? And will the help of Edith as well as Gacha Kacha on the line, it will boost up even the momentum of FNATIC ONIC. But so far right now on drafting wise, I gotta say both side has a really good potential. It's even up for a while for the respawn wise. The question is coming into the mid game, who are going to be able to stand out. But this is it, guys. This is the first series, the big series of our 2-0 bracket between Indonesia versus Philippines. It is going to be RRQ Hoshi versus FNATIC ONIC.
This is going to be a game to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, the global series right around the corner. So establishing dominance here in the Snapdragon stage. It's going to set up that momentum you need for the rest of the year. And I think the drafts that we have here exactly suit the styles that Indonesia and Philippines are known for, with this side of Indonesia wanting to go for a little bit more of that early game and maybe set things up, while FNATIC ONIC, we know that they want to be able to take control of that mid game and just slowly tighten the grip around their opponents.
Agree, definitely. All right, so far so smooth. A great cover coming in. I mean, we do see invasion coming in between Susujin as well as Kyler. Kyler gonna be in the pick right now. Oh, almost close enough to be tagged out, but with a dash he still managed to survive it out. And we do see at least Brusco is on the lag side. Whatever it is, he'll be able to be backed out. But that was a really too close to tell whether or not RRQ Hoshi was able to take down our one kill run. But nevertheless, still be able to hold it ground, and he had to back away to
SKOR enak buat kiting alpha, berapa kali musuh pick alpha.
It's expected that he's going to be putting a little bit more attention.
Jangan lupa ini FNATIC ONIC ya.
Mid lane, Briscoe taking quite a lot of damage himself.
Oh, coming in, and now we do see the first fight coming in by Kurt, taking down Duran.
Hello, nonton di mana? Di ESL Asia.
Shut down. FNATIC ONIC is not gonna be able to do so now. Edok and Vince gonna wait it out for Susujin to be actually hold it out. But this turtle is already in the hands of Kikon, and now they're going pushing in for the script itself. Kikon takes out Edok immediately with the Spirit of Alpha. Now pushing straight away to the side of the one and only Susujin, but doesn't manage to put it. But that was already a good win with one kill on the side, as well as the turtle to be taken into FNATIC ONIC.
It is very much expected that FNATIC ONIC should control the early game with an Alpha, Edith, and Kacha. It's a lot easier for them to take control of objectives, and they just have generally more damage compared to RRQ Hoshi. For RRQ, they gotta hold the early game and focus on giving as much time to Ring and Skylar as possible, with the thought being the more obvious. That's why you're going to see a little bit more ganking towards the gold lane to make sure that Claude wins out against the Harith, because usually Harith is the winner here in this 1v1 lane matchup.
Oh, that's totally agree. And here on out, we do see a 1v1 matchup coming in from Kurt as well as Duran. Airborne comes through, and now Kurt's trying to do it damage as much as he could. But I mean, you're talking about fighting off with Duran. I mean, a lot of the mobility-wise, survival and sustainability coming in from him. It's not going to be easy. Attempts coming in from the side of Kurt himself, but he's still not giving up. But he's got to be careful. Along the side of RRQ, it's going to be Susujin is just overlooking. And it seems that King Kong gets the input as well, and they will deny it as well. Now Rince moving away as quickly as possible before being tagged out. At least a reposition is a good in favor coming in from RRQ Hoshi, but they really gotta hold off for a while because the aggression input out by FNATIC ONIC at the moment right now, it's really scary.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad for Tyron, because when you are on a Hilda, you're usually the one causing havoc and pressure on the map. But because ONIC just has so much early game damage and they're dealing with an alpha jungle, the Hilda cannot actually invade to try and disrupt King Kong. He just has to try and win out a lane priority, which is already kind of difficult against an Edith, so that they can roam and actually stop ONIC from being overly aggressive on other parts of the map. Unfortunately, ONIC not really being stopped by that. They're going to start contesting the turtle in Sutsujin.
Oh, coming in straight with the Spirit of Alpha, pushing in straight. Airborne comes through. Darren trying to push in straight away to King Kong, but doesn't manage to get the kill he's needed. Edot getting a lot of damage, but the turtle has already been picked up and pushing in right now. Is trying to push in.
Sekali weh.
Hoshi doesn't get the target that they needed. FNATIC
itu bisa tuh
they're
ya.
gonna actually get away already. They're
Oh,
already got what they
nice.
needed.
Berdua,
But
nice.
double kill taking down Kirk as
Sangat
well
sabar
as the
ya
side of
bermainnya
Cusco.
kayak enggak.
Now that's what is
Nggak
needed coming
gila-gila.
in for the side of
Kok double
RRQ, but at the
killnya
same time, this is
Kirk?
gonna be tough for the side of Team FNATIC ONIC, as at least RRQ HOSHI gets the trade that they needed.
Oh,
That is exactly what RRQ
tadi yang-
HOSHI is looking
Oh.
for, and actually a massive win,
Tunggu dulu.
because up
Kok
until
gua
now
agak
I have been
bingung ya?
mentioning that FNATIC ONIC should be stronger at this stage of the game. They just have more presence and damage overall, but extended the team fight a little bit too far, and RRQ beautifully
Ngebug
managed their
anjir ya.
resources and positioning,
RRQ win, gua
playing
botak.
around the healing being
Tandain kudo.
provided by the Revitalize so
Kudo.
that they could prolong the fight
Botak.
and then re-enter once ONIC had overextended in the mid lane. Because of that, Sutsujin now
Sebentar,
has a
tapi
little bit of an
tadi-
EXP lead against King Kong, and RQ has
Namain
even up the
YTT
net
aja.
difference. As long as they keep the gold even and Skylar does not die, this game is going in their favor.
Agree, definitely. And a little bit struggle coming in from the side of Darren. This is where no matter how much you try to put out a potential to fight out with Kurt, it's still not enough. And going into the side of Susujin, I agree on the note that now he's actually in a very good advantage. Hopefully RRQ HOSHI can be potentially cover and control the movement that they are required right now to move into the mid game. And so far right now, we do see that Team FNATIC ONIC is gonna actually try to team up
Rins-
right at the top.
Rins
Gonna actually try
nantangin
to
itu.
give a lot of pressure to Skylar as well as Edot,
Orang itu
but
di situ
it will
kayak.
be denied instantly. Team RRQ HOSHI, really good grounding, really good coverage right now for both teams. It's really tie up for both of the teams right now.
Yeah, like we mentioned, gold lane going to get a lot of attention because if ONIC can unlock Kelra and have him start gaining gold from assists, it accelerates their snowball so much further while stopping Skylar. But RQ not letting that happen.
Oh, they're not letting it happen as well. They're contesting for the turtle as well. Darren coming in for
Oh,
the
nice.
Brusco. Decision takes down and
Waduh.
get the turtle instead. But at the moment right now,
Wait,
they will be trying
Darren
to go
yang
into the
dapat?
scrimmage.
Oh.
Not done yet. Going in for the
Oke, oke, oke.
push to the side of Rins. Rins had to pull away with Susujin having so much damage to put up.
Oh, stick
They
jadi
had to
tuler.
position, but it's a good move. Skylar
Oh,
almost been
untung nggak ada
taken
zaman
out.
Fox.
Now Darren coming in for the backline. Did manage to take down. This is
Nah,
Fox coming
is
through and
gila
Rins
sih
takes down
Rins,
Kelra
ya.
immediately.
Tapi dia mati dong.
Darren doesn't have much damage and
Enggak
they
deh.
had to pull away.
Ah,
A really
mati,
good
mati.
win, but Super Frizz comes along with the trade and King Kong shuts down
Aduh,
Susujin
aduh.
immediately with the
Wah,
one they have.
anjir,
Even getting
ketahuan.
the turtle is a two
Kabur.
trades coming in from the side of FNATIC ONIC, but Jiren, it seems like Kurt trying to get
You.
as much as kill as possible. He wants to
Sore.
go for the push, but
Selamat
still,
sore.
it was a good cause. They still managed to pull away without any casualty, but the trade
Masih
is
seimbang,
still the
guys.
same for FNATIC ONIC as well as Philippine.
Yeah, that trade initially looked incredible for RQ HOSHI. Again, beautifully
Si Edith ini
managing
nggak
their
pernah bohong, apa
positioning,
sih, nggak
but this
pernah
time it was them who
sayang
prolonged the fight a
ulti ya.
little bit too
Ulti
far
aja terus.
and underestimated the DPS.
Oh, coming in for a fight as a moment right now, we do see Gato Kaca coming in, but at the same time, it's not gonna pull anything with
Kelas
that
Rins
Avatar Guardian.
Archer.
Team FNATIC ONIC
Tapi dia
will
mati
be
tadi.
able to pull away for
Gak
those
punya
fights,
dash.
even despite the fact that RRQ HOSHI was not been pulled in. But at the same time, RRQ HOSHI,
Dapat
great
atas nih.
position, great respawn wise. So far, they know how to actually have a really good space between FNATIC ONIC, and that's what is needed. Even on the ground wise, they did manage to actually trade off between the two turrets from the top as well as mid lane. Here on out, Team RRQ HOSHI, at least on the cover ground of the map, is still in their hands.
Even though ONIC was able to get some good kills in that previous fight, remember the win condition we mentioned. As long as RRQ HOSHI keeps the gold somewhat even until the late game, They are actually in the
Lucu
lead.
kayak
The
ditendang
goal
doang
difference
terus
right
udah
now
tinggal
very,
diginiin.
very small. Only about 1,000 in favor of FNATIC ONIC
Wah, Dairen bisa
Philippines.
mati nih.
In comparison, RQ will scale way
Wow,
better, and they're gonna
wow,
play for that
mati nih
time.
King Kong. Aha,
Oh, they're gonna
nggak
play
jadi.
from starting. Avatar Guardian coming in for the push. At the moment right now, King Kong had to pull his,
Depan
but
dulu,
so
Cok.
much damage
Oh,
coming
nice.
in. But Sky
Nice.
takes down sprints immediately and
Nice.
takes down Bruce.
Nice.
Kara being stuck
Kita
in the middle,
nice.
taken out by
Nice.
with the waves of dragon. But
King Kong dikit lagi anjir. Gak apa-apa, dapat 4, dapat 4.
Taking out Kerr, and it's
What?
gonna be Darren to push in.
Wah, Dairen.
Shutting him
Yo,
down
what
with
the
the
hell?
sacrifice of kill,
Yo.
but it's needed already
Wiped
from the side
out.
of RRQ just to take down, getting the team
Dairen.
desirable in RRQ Hoshi hands.
Yo. GG.
FNATIC ONIC
Itu dia ya
went
guys.
for a slightly over-aggressive position around the Lord Pit. At this stage of the game, it's understandable. They
Nice
still have
banget,
control, they
Cok.
still have damage, but RRQ, I've been seeing their micro movements.
Iya,
and
tadi
it has
dognya
been
juga
very
pas.
impressive the way that they're dodging Avatar the Guardian every single
Tapi
time,
tadi
making use
rapi
of
banget.
iframes.
Satu
And
hilang.
UDAH as well, finding Super Prince in the backline and kicking him into the blazing duet, thereby funneling the entirety of FNATIC ONIC into a small area
Pada garang
where
gini,
Skyler
iya
can
Nay.
do the most damage.
Ya
They
kan kita
also
disebutnya
now have the most
Brawl
gold
Region.
in the
Ya
game.
udah aja,
RQ
kita
with a
gelutin.
2K net worth lead now at
Kalau
10
menang ya
minutes
gelutin gitu.
are very poised to take this game if ONIC are not able to find an equalizer.
Now let's see.
Sabar aja sih asal jangan sampai ke pick off aja.
Doesn't spot anyone. It seems that Edo trying to find a way to actually go into the backline first of all, but at the same time will be denied by Super Friends, not allowing
Tyran
any
Hilda
extension
janda
coming in
priok.
from the RRQ Hoshi. Lords is marching in. King Kong right
Apa
at the
itu
front side. It
turret?
seems that Darren will be at the backline. Doesn't spot anyone
Bisa
just
tadi-
yet, but they don't know who they want to go with.
Itu sih jungler sih
overlooking
kayaknya. Ya udahlah
straight, try
mending
to
dia
pull
mati
away,
gak
but
sih?
Skyler takes down the turret immediately. But they deny it. They're actually having a little bit of
Iya,
action, trying to
Lordnya
pull
cupu
in
sekali.
to the FNATIC ONIC, and this is the reason
Gak apa-apa,
why
yang penting
FNATIC
dapat
ONIC
tower.
having a really good defense wise so far, and Team RRQ Hoshi, they couldn't find the opening they needed, so at least
Tapi ini
on the
Kingdom
side of
jangan
FNATIC ONIC,
jangan
they'll still be able to neutralize
sombong dulu
all
ya.
the lords and the wave
Bukan
that come
Kingdom
their way.
sih, ya itulah manusia-manusia
But
yang
they're
biasa
not
suka
able to
langsung.
neutralize the gold advantage.
Banyak
RRQ
bacot.
is now
Jangan
controlling
dulu,
the entirety of
bisa
the
aja nih
map.
mereka cuma
They have
main-main
successfully
doang
taken
anjir.
every
Kita kan nggak tahu.
exterior tower from the side of FNATIC
Lord
ONIC, leaving
1C
only
apa
the
yang bisa
inhibitors
diharapin? Iya
behind.
sih.
While ONIC is pretty strong as a 5-man death ball, RRQ Hoshi's lineup is designed quite well to be able to split up the map and even play for pickoffs. So they're gonna continue doing so and see if they can bait out individual
Skylar
members
nomor
of
1
FNATIC
gold per
ONIC.
menit. Ya gitu,
And
tahu
if
dari.
they're able to continue doing that, it's gonna be quite difficult for our Filipino champions.
Let's see.
Lumayan, tapi
King
dapat
Kong
buff
trying to
juga.
find a way to break to RRQ.
Aduh
So
serak si
far,
caster
Brusco
ceweknya,
just
kasihan.
waiting for the right time. The fact that RRQ, I like the positioning wise, they're denying
ESL hanyalah
Avatar
latihan untuk
Guardian
M6.
been put out by Brusco, and that's the reason why it's not in the favor of FNATIC ONIC every time they go
Ya
into
makanya
team fights.
gak bisa
So
terlalu
that's the
wah
option
gitu
where
kalau
we're
menang di
seeing
sini karena
RRQ
takutnya
Hoshi
mereka
positioning
menyimpan.
wise is very important for their keys. Now Kiara trying to actually
Menyimpan.
bait out RRQ, trying to actually pull them in, and the best part about it is that Team RRQ Hoshi, they
Di
don't
sini
need to
jajan
worry
makan
much
dulu
anything.
boleh
They're
nggak, guys?
literally prioritizing on the lane side. As long as they allow those waves come in and keep giving pressure to FNATIC ONIC, it's still gonna be in their favor.
Now, it's a very interesting picture to see here because we typically expect PH teams to always be superior in terms of macro. But because of the draft matchup for this game in particular, RRQ Hoshi are taking care of that incredibly well since all of their heroes are either durable on their own or have built-in escape mechanisms so that they are able to split push waves without needing to worry too much about getting ganked. Not to mention that
Nggak boleh
Kurt is the
deket-deket, takut
only
di
really reliable form of CC that FNATIC ONIC has. He has to
Tapi
find
cowoknya aktif sekali ya,
Skylar,
guys, ya.
and that is after
Aktif.
baiting out a
Di
Purify.
depan
Otherwise,
maksudnya.
RRQ Hoshi just
Wah
has so
udah
many
tuh,
ways
udah
of
Spiro Valva
controlling
dia.
teamfight.
Tendang. Wah.
Oh, going in straight
Nice
for the
banget,
wave of dragon,
Cok.
taking down King Kong. So much
Yo.
damage. Papa pushing in, try to give it
Nice
much pressure,
banget
but it's
sumpah,
not gonna do
Cok.
anything as they push into Brusco
Gila.
instead, getting double kill
Weh,
from the Rise
weh,
of Rings,
weh.
but at the same time,
Iya,
it's
Sirin
a
sini
little
selalu
bit
jadi
of
garda
had to be
terdepan
shut
ya.
down by Kara with the Zaman Cross. But at the same time,
Dia
right
selalu
here,
mati di
reducing
depan.
position, gonna go in
Anak kita
for
berani.
all the burst that is required, but it's not gonna be enough. That trade's coming in 2-2-1, and
Wah.
gonna push it all out.
Gila.
Going into Kara, immediately shutting him down, and going in with
Hildanya nafsu, terlalu nafsu. Woi. Jangan maksa nggak sih? Masih ada ini loh. Masih ada back sana juga.
Overlooking to the side of Prince, but here on out, Curse picks him up immediately as Sujin had to back away.
Jangan
Having
mati.
so much damage.
Sujin.
Little bit those overextension is giving those potential to Fnatic ONIC to
Ya udah, nggak apa-apa, dia
reverse
pakai
this
ulti.
back the effect.
Yo, sebenarnya kayaknya nggak. Tadi musuhnya udah mati satu sama Skylar itu udah sih. Sayang nggak sih? Hilda mati, Idok mati.
Unfortunately, they went a little bit too far, and Kirk was luckily able to survive with a tiny bit of HP. Because if the EDAH had gone down, RRQ would have definitely ended the game right there and
Darren gak kenal
then.
base lawan.
With
Cuman
that
gak sama
though,
si Om.
that does give ONIC a little bit more breathing room, but they only have
Sekalian
one
nyobain
inhibitor
patch
on
baru.
very low HP to hold on.
Emangnya kalian mau
Whatever
mendengar suara
happens,
moderator
this
aku?
next lord must
udah.
go into their hands, or RRQ should be able to quite easily whittle down the crystal.
Right, 81.
Kalian kangen banget.
For the Lord. Is it that they will try to actually push those
Kayak
team
lihat
fights,
Hilda siapa
or
ya?
will they actually try to go in for the team fights along that Lord lane? But here on out, E-Dog is just trying to overlook. He will
Ya, aku mah
try
nanya
to
doang.
find a way to actually pick it up. Rinse, a little bit overextension will be denied by Super
Skylar gak
Prince.
mau kalah
And
sama
not only
Keller.
that, they're pushing it straight away.
Ya nggak apa-apa lah, ini kan dia menguji kalau agresif oke nggak. Kita malah jadi blunder jatuhnya.
Will be denied instantly by Fnatic. Just one more hit could have actually got that turret, but in the end, Fnatic still giving a lot of pressure, not allowing RRQ HOSHI to even come in.
Yeah, Skylar tried to go in with the BMI
Nanti game
for
2
one
deh gua
last hit on the
ini.
tower, but we have to remember in the patch
Gua
they
kontak orang.
updated the tower so that they are just super tanky if you don't have minions nearby. In the past, a single hit would have actually taken that down. But that's no
Hilda yang ke base musuh mentang-mentang Angela masuk itu sih. Terus gue ditinggalkan di sana anjir untuk meninggal.
Right now, Skylar going to be doing a lot of damage, and because there isn't enough ways for Fnatic ONIC to force out his Purify, he can actually position himself very aggressively without needing to be worried about being CC chained. He has 0 deaths so far, and the Lord is coming up. Fnatic ONIC need this, or they need to at least slow it down with only one tower standing. If
setengah
RRQ
loh itu
pushes
Brusco.
in with this and a Claude, the game is basically over.
It is coming in right now. We do see King Kong trying to push into Duran, but at the same time, a little bit overextension coming to Edo with the Waves of Dragon.
Nah, mati nih, nice. Dapat Kiara, nice. Dapat 3. Nah, belum. Oke. Bahkan Lordnya belum diambil guys.
From RRQ HOSHI, and unfortunately
nice
they
banget
will
Hoshi.
go in straight into the
Si Darren mati terus
of
aja.
this
Matinya di base lawan terus
had
aja.
to be sacrificed.
Ayo
It's
N.
already a done deal.
Lebih banyak
For the
poin,
side
lebih
of
baik ya
Team
guys ya.
RRQ HOSHI,
Let's go.
they will be able to get this first game
Itu
in the
dia.
hands of
Tapi
Indonesia.
ya balik lagi ya, kita tidak bisa terlalu mempercayai.
Gak
apa-apa. Kita doakan 2-0 gimana? Ngelunjak kan. Gak apa-apa lah. Semoga bisa 2-0 ya guys ya. Terus katanya game 2 mereka menggila anjir Fnatic ONIC. Tapi ya itu RRQ harus bisa di segala situasi. Jadi nggak apa-apa guys. Kita optimis aja dulu. Oke? Let's go.